The game of basketball was conceived in 1891 for the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts by James Naismith, and has been transformed through the years, but the objectivity remains the same. Its annotation of character and arena for participation, a platform of resolve for the exemplars of integrity and skill which demonstrates the contestants' caliber of accomplishments. A 94 by 50 foot designated placard portrayed on the mezzanine with a 18-inch diameter metal cupola besieged with a lattice, posted 10 feet in height on a raised 6 by 3 1/2 lath addressing both ends of a playing concourse. The attending aficionado accomplished on elevated staging, enabling one to view the court to observe the event that was about to unfold. The contesting designates, each a 5-member contingency, to place a 9.3-inch diameter inflated sphere through the opposing team's guarded hoop. Let the games begin. Gary mounting a mid-court third-row seat in the gymnasium bleachers at the Anthony K-8 school, a familiar setting, having attended the Hornets basketball games in the past, his son Robert a member of the team. Gary was never critical of his son's basketball prowess, having established a pole-mounted backboard and hoop beside the driveway at their home, shooting baskets, with the youngster, encouraging him to practice. Gary, having spent his youthful days in high school as sports editor on the school paper, attending and writing about almost every school sporting event for a year and a half, and was well acquainted with the ascribed outstanding school athletes and was very much aware that some team members lacked the natural athletic ability of the others. It wasn't Robert's lack of physical attributes, his stature was equitable to those his age, but the absence of a focused desire for competitive athletics, something which is paramount in those who excel in aggressive sports activities. Today's game was one of special interest. Anthony was playing Kiowa, Gary familiar with all the Kiowa South Barber Tornado team members, having worked at the Kiowa Elementary School for 5 years before the family moved to Anthony, and most were past classmates of Robert's. Robert's game time was negligible, as in most school sporting events the starters playing most of the game time, the less proficient members of the team activated for an obligatory period. Throughout the game the two teams keeping pace with each other, Brad Rathgeber and Mark Zimmerman making outstanding baskets for Kiowa. Robert's playing time against his previous alumni was very minimal, the game progressing each team trading baskets, the scoring was equitable, the clock winding down to less than a minute. Kiowa seizing a 1-point lead, the Anthony coach calling a timeout, the Hornets returning to the floor and to Gary's amazement, Robert, a non-starter, taking to the court and more astonishingly, the ball was inbounded to him. Robert slowly dribbling the ball up the court, a grin on his face, the Kiowa team, his old classmates waiting for him to cross the mid-court line before ambushing his forward progress. Stepping up his dribble, zeroing in towards the Kiowa goal, the clock down to less than 10 seconds and about to expire. Robert launching the ball, its path off its mark, missing the hoop, a disappointment, but at the same time, the sound of the referee's whistle echoing in the gym. The referee pointing to Kiowa, during the attempt to block the shot, Robert was fouled, giving him 2 attempts at free throws. A hushed silence fell over the gym, the crowd silenced with the turn of events, the Anthony Hornets coach standing smugly with his arms folded. Jim Jacobs, the Kiowa coach, was pacing, the remainder of the Kiowa bench sitting in silence, the Anthony team, enlivening confidence to Robert that he could make the baskets. The referee handing Robert the ball, both teams, lining up on the key in anticipation for the first free throw attempt. Standing at the free throw line, the young man was poised, dribbling in place several times, then raising the ball, sending it soaring towards the basket. The ball rebounding off the backboard, a banked shot addressing the hoop, tying the score, with another free throw remaining. The ball once again in Robert's hands. This time, a concentrated effort could be fathomed from the expression on his face. All eyes were on Robert, bouncing the ball just one time, his hands grasping it, giving the push shot its rotation, sending the possible game-winning sphere arching towards the hoop. Gary questioned the coach's decision to insert Robert into the game. Down by 1 point and with less than a minute remaining, was the coach proclaiming a confidence in the boy's ability, or just maybe a psychological reason, knowing the relationship between Robert and the opposing team, conjecturing that the youth would be emboldened to rise to the occasion? Only the coach knew. The Kiowa team was stunned, the crowd exuberant, Gary experiencing a spine-tingling perception of pride, as he watched the ball swishing through the net, a contest winner for the Hornets and Robert's day of sports acclaim.